Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line where you can call in and text in and join in on today's conversation. In addition to that, you can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, and give us a subscribe. And as I heard this morning, is hit that little bell. Rhea, why didn't you tell me I'm supposed to say that? Hit the little bell for subscribe. Hit the little bell for subscribe.
Oh, you mean like the bell that's on YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube bell.
Oh, I haven't even.
Yeah, I heard it on a podcast this morning. They said hit the bell. Hit the bell. But shout out to Rhea Riley holding down the ones and the twos.
Hey, y'all. And
shout out to you, Truth Nation. Before I get into it, there's a couple things. First and foremost, so Dr. Ken calls me this morning. Kyle, are you in office? Well, actually, he wasn't even doing his radio voice. He was doing his regular voice. He said, you in office? I said, yes, I am. He said, I need you to tell Tiff this. Tiff Poole is from our news room here at 620 WTMJ, and he was talking about a police chase. He said, I just saw like 15 squad cars, zoom, 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 driving in Tulsa. I was like, oh, wow. He said it looked like they were chasing somebody. It looked like the car door was open or something like that. I was like, oh, wow. And so now I come in here and I see the police chase, and them folks was, Ken saw it. They got caught on Lily Road and North Avenue. Look at Dr. Ken always reporting the news. And then the other story is, Rhea, have you heard about this Guthrie woman whose mother went missing?
Yeah, I don't know what this is, and it's getting a lot of news coverage.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Nancy Guthrie, somebody who's on the news, mom went missing, and now it's a news story. Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie went missing. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But look at the screen, Rhea. 3 of the 4 screens. TMJ4, Fox News, and CNN are all talking about this, and they're looking for the missing mother. Now, I get it. I won't listen. If my family went missing, I want you to find them too. But don't we have like silver alerts every day? And I guess she might have been kidnapped. It sounds awful. It really does. It sounds terrible. Very terrible. And I'm just trying to figure out, why is this news though? You know, is that mean in not disrespectful, but insensitive to say?
I'm looking it up right now. I'm assuming she's a really popular religious author.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Don't quote me on that.
So she's more than somebody's grandma. She has a job like the rest of people's grandmas and moms. Huh? Is that what it is?
She may or may not be employed.
I hope she's alive, though. I can tell you that much. I hope she's alive. But they got helicopters out there looking for this lady. That's crazy. It's crazy. Helicopters, because I think she was stolen, but I don't even know. What do they call it when you are...
Abducted.
Abducted, yeah. Abducted. So, anyways, with that being said, Truth Nation, before I get into Off the Top today, talking about our lead story today, which reminds me, I forgot to send you this, Rhea, so let me go ahead and send you this photo that I did not send you. But before I get into Off the Top, there is a news story I did want to share as well. Just a quick hitter. So, Truth Nation, I told y'all need to get vaccinated. Rhea, you recall me coming on this show talking about y'all need to get vaccinated. Y'all need to stop playing. Y'all need to get vaccinated. You remember me talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, everybody has a choice, but I told y'all about this measles outbreak, right? This measles outbreak is real. And guess what? At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, they done had a student come back on campus with the measles. And they done been in plenty of buildings. Now imagine, Rhea, if somebody you work with, right? Somebody we work with, not you, we. Imagine somebody we work with all of a sudden had to quarantine because they had the measles and they was walking around coughing on studio production room stuff, touching shared desks we got upstairs, opening up the shared kitchen refrigerator, sitting in open space. How mad would you be?
I mean, I'm sick right now and I feel bad.
I hope you ain't got the measles.
I don't have the measles, but
But
I would be mad.
I would be so upset. So upset. So hopefully they get this contained. But again, I told y'all a while ago about this measles thing, and we need to take this serious. This woman or individual went on an international trip and brought it back and may have spread it across the campus. And last week there was already one confirmed case of the measles in Wauwatosa. Now here's really where I really wanted to get to. Last year, there were 36 confirmed cases of the measles in Wisconsin. Now when I heard that number, I said, okay, I don't know what that means. Like, is that a lot? Is that a little? I was unsure. And I hear 36, I didn't know. So for context, in the year of 2023, there were a whopping 1 confirmed case of the measles. In the year of 2024, there was a whopping 1 confirmed case of the measles. So altogether, we got 2 confirmed cases of the measles combined in the year of 2023 and 2024. And then just last year in 2025, we had 36. It skyrocketed up. And already this year, through the first 30-some-odd days, we already got 2 cases of the measles, confirmed cases of the measles in Wisconsin. And all I'll say with that, Truth Nation, is elections have consequences. They do. I mean, I'm not saying that the election of somebody is causing this, but I mean, based off statistically speaking, it seems like once somebody got into office, all of a sudden people didn't want to, maybe vaccinate their kids or, more. I don't know. I don't know all the science, but all I know is we done seen a significant jump in measles cases. Measles cases in the state of Wisconsin. Now, I'm just telling y'all this now. I encourage y'all to get vaccinated because you're going to be walking around here with the, hundreds of people walking around with the bumpity bumps and red spots walking around here because they got the measles. And y'all keep playing around with these vaccinations, and a lot of y'all kids going to be walking around looking like Forrest Gump. You know what Forrest Gump looked like before in them braces? You know what I'm talking about, Rhea? We all know, run, Forrest. Y'all know Forrest had them damn braces on. Y'all keep playing. Y'all think I'm joking. I'm not. Y'all better look at what people used to walk around looking like with polio, with them little sticks on their hands. And ain't nothing wrong with that if you got that. But I'm just saying that was something that, obviously it causes for you not to have the highest quality of life. Just because you got a disability don't mean you have a high quality of life. But I will say you are missing out. And y'all purposely going to have y'all kids not get some polio shots and then walking around here wobbling all the damn time. Y'all better be careful. I'm just saying, not mine. I'm telling you this now. Mine going to be all vaccinated. We ain't playing that. I got little athletes I'm finna produce. My girl daddy 6'3", 6'2.5". Don't let this Wallace blood get that high. Y'all see what happened with my cousin. He in the league. I got another cousin who play at Memphis, so don't let me get some height. I'm telling you this right now. Because when I retire from this, best believe it's going to be because my kid made it. But anyways, Truth Nation, now I want to transition into Off the Top.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Now that I think about it, I probably should have waited, but this is going to be a longer segment. Whoops, my bad. Rhea and Truth Nation, is it racist to say somebody or say something is racist? Is it racist to think something is racist? That's what I asked. Is that racist to even think something is racist? That's the question I asked because I've never been to a restaurant called Golden Nest Pancakes and Cafe at the Mayfair Collection in Wauwatosa, but I feel like I looked at the prices and I wanted to go, but the price is a little bit too steep for my pockets. If your pancakes cost more than $15, I ain't going. Tell you that now. I need my pancakes to be $12 or less with a side. Well, I ain't going. I have no idea, so I just remember passing on it. But I recently saw that there was a controversial post or controversial sign inside the store. If you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, you'll be able to see this controversial sign that was inside of this Golden Nest Pancakes and Cafe at the Mayfair Collection. Had some people commenting and some people, trying to figure out, oh, well, this is racist. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to see it, and I'll let y'all know exactly what it says for those who are driving in their car or listening on the app. Now, the sign simply reads, "Please do not enter if you smell of marijuana. Golden Nest Pancake and Cafe is a family restaurant, and this is unappealing while guests are dining." Sounds fair to me, right? Sounds fair to me. I'll read it again. The sign simply reads, "Please do not enter if you smell of marijuana. Golden Nest Pancakes and Cafe is a family restaurant, and this is unappealing while guests are dining." Now, that sign was someone who took a picture and posted it on Facebook, and it took off like wildfire with a lot of different comments. I don't see the problem. It's a simple sign asking people not to smell like the weed and smell like a skunk inside of a restaurant. And it caused a little controversy. Some folks instantly thought, well, that sign may have been racist. Now, I do not know why they posted that sign. I'm assuming it is because of the smell of marijuana. I don't know who came in the place smelling like marijuana. But I think that is, something that is a legit question to ask. But overall, when people called it racist or thought it was offensive, I think that's the biggest problem we have here in America. One of many problems, maybe not the biggest, one of the many problems we have here in America, that we associate weed smoking with black folk. Now, I'm not naive, and I'll be foolish to believe maybe it wasn't a group of black people who came in there smelling like that bag. Just keeping it real, but I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I do know is white people love to smoke weed too. And we need to get out our heads that it's only black people that like to do weed or do drugs. White people love to eat their gummies. White people love to eat their edibles. White people love their little CBD oils. White people love to drink their CBD drink, and they love to hit that vape pen. Is that how it works? The vape pens even make you cough. How you know? What you talking about? You done did some research?
Why you asking me all these same questions?
Why you answering the question? You nodded quick. Rhea said, yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. I've seen some of my friends. I'm like,
the company you keep, right? There we go again.
Because my friends smoke weed. What are you talking about? Who don't know somebody ain't smoked weed before?
That's a great question.
And especially when you young folks smoking the weed. I don't do the drugs. But my whole point is, we as a community, we need to not fall for this trap that black folks are these big druggies, that we're these, these kingpins, or that we're just drugs just all across our communities. What we have to understand is that people of all backgrounds are drug users. Like, everybody's a drug user, it doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnic background you are, what community you come from. There are drug users everywhere. Drug use does not discriminate the same way welfare does not discriminate. The same way crime does not discriminate. The same way alcoholism does not discriminate. So we just need to get it out of our head when we think and we hear these stories that we want to be offended by someone saying, oh, we don't want people smelling like weed inside the establishment. That isn't an anti-black thing. That is an anti-somebody wanting their place not to smell like weed or like a skunk. These issues are not reflected just by a singular group of people. It's representative of a lifestyle, and I would say poor lifestyle choices when it comes to the use of drugs here in America. So when I see a sign like that, I'm not offended, and I say good for them. Good for the Golden Pancake. Is that what it's called? The Golden Nest Pancake? Good for them.
Food must be busting, to be honest.
It's busy quite a bit. I went to the old place there. It was a French place. Very good.
French place?
Yeah, a little French lunch place I went to. They had French, and it was good.
Oh.
It closed, though. It didn't. I guess they really didn't fit the demographic. Maybe that was a different. No, I'm pretty sure that was it. But again, I personally don't want to go in the establishment smelling like weed. Like, how about you, Rhea? Do you like going in places that smell like a skunk?
No.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, especially at my age, I don't want to be around anything that has a resemblance of it being dirty. Like, I've gotten to the point now where before I used to thug it out. Like, I used to stay at, some hotels that weren't the highest end. And I'm not saying I stay at the highest end hotels. I don't really stay at hotels too often. But I'm a little bit more selective about where I stay at. I always looked at the photos, and if I do stay at a hotel that I feel a little uneasy about, I'll be looking in the showers like, it's getting a little old. I become a little bit more selective. Matter of fact, I like to go on weekends. I like to go to open houses, just to go look at other houses and look at what designs they have.
Who are you?
I mean, I'm almost a middle-aged man. What you mean? You look at what other houses have.
I just never expect you to be that person that does that.
if I want to upgrade something, I'm going to say, oh, they got this or they got that. One thing I really want in my house we don't have is a mud room. So I was like thinking about, okay, how could I?
Like a foyer?
Sure. I don't, foray?
Foyer.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that before. But just a little mud room was the basic, a mud room, and I would love to have washer and dryer upstairs. I ain't got that. But let me stop putting my business out there. But, so, I go and I look at these different houses. So me and my baby, we went to go look at this house this past weekend. And it just felt so dirty inside. I don't know why anybody would buy it simply based off the presentation that it had. And I'm being so honest. I legit put on a fresh pair of socks. I got my Packer socks. I put them on a Saturday. Fresh pair. Right out the washer and dryer. I mean fresh. And they made me take off our shoes in the house, which was the first sign of dirtiness because I'm like, well, why don't you just have booties for us to walk around? But they made us take off our shoes. I'm like, cool, whatever. Had my socks on, and so you got all these people walking around looking at your house without socks on. And I'm walking around the house. I'm like, this feels dirty. And as soon as I got home, you know what I did, Rhea? As soon as I got back to the crib, I walked into the door. I took off my shoes, and I immediately took off my socks, and I picked them up and I put them in the hamper. I said, ugh. So I don't.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not. So I don't want to. I don't blame people for wanting to have a nice eating environment. And my point being is this, is that every business has a right to determine what type of patrons they want as long as they're not racially discriminating against anybody. And I need for y'all to know that, a sign saying do not smell like weed isn't something that's racist. It isn't something just for black people. It's for weed smokers. So we need to stop acting like we attacked by signs that talk about weed smoking when it ain't got nothing to do with us. It really don't. Unless you smoke the Mary Jane, it ain't got nothing to do with you. And everybody smoked the Mary Jane. Rhea, have you seen people of Asian descent smoke marijuana?
Yes.
Have you seen people of maybe Indian descent smoke marijuana? You may not have Indian friends, so.
I do, and I don't know, but I
seen Middle Easterns. How about that? Have you seen white people?
Yes.
Have you seen the blacks?
Yes.
Okay then. That's all I'm saying. So next time we see these signs, don't buy into that. Don't let the media push these narratives and these stereotypes on our people when they're not completely true. Everybody's smoking weed. But this has been the, what did I call this segment, Rhea? Off the top. I was looking because I wanted to get into more, but I think I might just bump it to later. 833-212-1017. We come back, Truth Nation. Me and Rhea were having a conversation talking about the Grammys. And before y'all get y'all panties in a bunch, I'm not taking shots at nobody. But I am saying shout out to the people that use a platform and they use a voice to speak up and out against what we are seeing in our country right now. We'll talk about the Grammys on the other side and what people should or shouldn't be doing with their platform and what is their responsibility when they have a platform. It is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We're going to talk Grammys and we're going to talk Ice Out on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers complete their homestand as they host the Detroit Mercy Titans at the UW-Panther Arena.
3 feet the block. Franklin, contact, yes! Score it in one. Back to the top, Dixon. Driving right, step back, wing, 3 on the way, and he hit it. Josh Dixon with a ceiling scraper.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
President's Day is almost here, and Steinhoffels is celebrating big. Right now, save at least 10% off store-wide on the furniture you've been waiting for, and it gets better. Truth Nation, when you spend over $49.99 at Steinhoffels, they give you a 65-inch 4K smart TV. Plus, you can test rest a Beauty Black mattress for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Yes, all you got to do is test rest a mattress, and you can win a dream vacation to Hawaii. President's Day sale at Steinhoffels is happening now. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. On Saturday, I went to do my little test rest so I can give money for special spaces, but then I got a nice little $20 gift card to a restaurant as well. So now I got $20 for lunch. Maybe I'll treat Rhea to lunch.
You know what? Remember that one time I asked you for food and you said no?
Wait, what?
It was 2 years ago. I said, can I get some food? You want to buy me some lunch? You said, you looked me in my eyes and said no.
What? Yeah. Why would
Now
I
you
be?
want me some lunch? You
Why
want
would
some
I buy? Me and my lady, we just had a conversation about funds.
lunch? I ain't no lunch.
And I told her, like, listen, Rhea, when the last time you seen me bring any type of outside lunch in this mug that was not a deal?
You've been having these dry ass sandwiches for a hot minute, so that's true.
Yeah. I'm trying to lose weight and I'm trying to save money. What you mean? I'm trying to.
Good for you.
No, I'm trying. Well, there'd be a lot of broke people around here. I got some intel earlier this month. I said, woof, America really is broke. But 833-212-1017. Truth Nation, listen, I don't really watch the Grammys. I don't. I'm not like a Grammy guy. I don't know the last time I watched the Grammys all the way through, and Sunday was probably the closest I did it. And the Grammys were on Sunday night, and my baby wanted to watch that, so we did that. And there were some really good performances. I was actually quite shocked and blown away by how good some of the performances were. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like music. The best one I love was Justin Bieber. You probably had Bieber fever back in the day, huh?
No, definitely not.
Really? What do we mean definitely not?
I just wasn't that kind of kid.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. Interesting.
But why are you so shocked by this?
I'm just shocked. I mean, I thought most young women your age had Bieber fever. You heard Carrie Noni. Carrie loved her some Justin Bieber back in the day.
Sure does.
She loved her some Justin Bieber. And he performed a song called Yukon. It was phenomenal. Have you seen it yet, Rhea?
I did see it. I have mixed reviews now
Mixed reviews.
on his performance of UConn.
Oh, why didn't you like it?
I just want him to have help. That's all. He looks really sad.
Have help. He seemed happy. His girl was showing him love. That looked like a man that was happy and was healthy. And watching these, Grammys made me realize, A, I don't listen to music, and B, maybe I need to focus on things outside of work. Because all I do is look up news stories, stay up to date on the news, follow the trends, and I completely have detached myself from music because I was literally, my girl was singing these songs. Like, how the hell? I said, how you know this song? I said, when you listen to it? I swear, I was like, how you know this? I was so confused, and I realized how detached I am from actual music. All I know is the ratchet stuff. Take me through there, take me through there. That's like legit. That's all I know. Make sure y'all watching Streamers Live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. But I'm very detached from it. And watching the Grammys, though, something stood out to me. The thing that stood out to me was the fact that we are living in what I would say some trying times and some different times in this country where there seems to be an overreach by the government in trying to control our lives. As you heard yesterday, the President of the United States talking about nationalizing elections, which elections are supposed to be for the states to determine how they coordinate and run their elections, and now they're talking about nationalizing elections. And so it's a very scary time where you see this overreach by our federal government here in America. And we all know what is happening outside in the streets. And so with us living in these crazy times in America, those who use their platform on Sunday to speak out against the oppressive abuse of power that I see from this administration, I was proud of that. I was happy to see that, because there was one thing that we talked about before. Is this our fight? Is this our fight? We supposed to be speaking up. And I was happy to see a lot of people who may not have a dog in the race, but at the end of the day, when you are a part of humanity, you feel like you need to say something. And y'all know me, I'm personally a big fan of using your voice and your platform to speak out whenever you get a chance. Whenever you are blessed with an opportunity to have a platform. I don't think people understand how fortunate I feel and how blessed I feel to be able to have a platform like this where I get a chance to talk about things that matter to the community and matter to me as well. Like, I think that is so important when you potentially can influence maybe one or two people. I think that is so important to be able to use that platform. And so when you have influence to change people's minds that could lead to changing lives, I think you should take advantage of that. But then again, that is me personally. So when I saw Trevor Noah, who hosted it, the Grammys on Sunday night, speak out, I loved it. When I saw Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber having an ice out pen, I enjoy seeing that. Bad Bunny, who's going to be performing at the Super Bowl, using his voice. And listen, the man, he's from Puerto Rico, but he speaks Spanish and his English is not the greatest. But he took time to use English to speak out against what he is seeing. And he is Puerto Rico. He's from Puerto Rico, so he's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico is an American territory, so Puerto Ricans shouldn't have to worry about anything because they are literally part of America. But he spoke out. SZA took the time when she went on stage and she won an award with Kendrick Lamar. She took the time where everybody else was taking, to an acceptance speech to speak out and talk about, trust in God in times like this. You saw Jelly Roll get up there and talk about God doesn't, care about your political beliefs. Billie Eilish, who's a very famous singer, speak out. A newcomer, a Brit, and Olivia Dean, who talked about how she is a daughter of immigrants. One name is absent who chooses to let his music speak out, voices his voice, and that's Kendrick Lamar, who uses his music as a tool to talk about things that need to be changed in his way of fighting back, which I think is cool. It's great. But I also think sometimes it's a cop-out and a missed opportunity for him and other people to be able to use this platform. And I understand a lot of y'all love to get a pass to people who y'all like. I'm not one to give past people who I like. A lot of people say, well, where's Drake at? I said, listen, Drake is a Canadian white boy. Yes, I said it. He was raised in Canada. His mother is white, and he was a bastard child. Like, what are we talking about? His daddy, his black American daddy wasn't around him. How you expect a kid raised by a white mother in a whole nother country to actually understand what's going on here? Do people not understand that Drake he's an actor and an entertainer? You realize that Drake, when Drake be talking tough talk, we do realize he's an entertainer.
Yeah, but he's a musician now.
He's a musician, but he's an entertainer. He puts on a persona. Listen, when you listen to Drake, don't believe anything's real. I asked Rhea, I said, what's going on with my camera? If you got to reset it, please do. What's going on? Put this camera on me,
All
Rhea.
right, we got it.
That's crazy.
Hey.
Crazy. But anyways, I just think it's an opportunity. Y'all know I done had my beef, not my beef, and I'm a big fan of Kendrick's music, but I'm upset that I feel like he doesn't use the platform. We got all these other people using the platform, and he chooses not to. And it's not one person's responsibility to change the world, but we're talking about an administration that is deporting the wrong people. Like, when I say the wrong people, I don't mean like they're deporting the wrong people. Like, they're deporting people that don't need to be deported. Like, legitimately taking people from this country and shifting them to another country and then having to bring them back. They've done that multiple times. We have caretakers being taken away from their disabled people that they care for, and now the disabled people are struggling because they don't have their caretakers. We have DEI initiatives that help support our communities being stripped away and cities are being occupied. Like, that is what's happening in this country, and I understand that music can speak for people, but a message can really resonate when you use your voice. And I alluded to Bad Bunny, Benito, because he is one of music and one of the most famous artists in the world right now. And he is going to be on one of the biggest world stages that there is. Everybody talks about what during the Super Bowl? They talk about the game, but other people who don't really care about football, what do they talk about?
The halftime show.
The halftime show. It's such a big deal that these folks, Turning Point USA, got Kid Rock, the man who likes to use the N-word, to headline theirs. Crazy to me. care about acceptance, but you got somebody who's the N-word headlining your halftime show because you don't like the fact that Bad Bunny is going to be headlining the other one, and some of these idiots said, a non-American. Shut up. Get a map. Learn history. And so the fact that Bad Bunny, a week before one of the biggest platforms he ever has, gets on there and uses the Grammys as a way to speak out and fight back, despite we all know the backlash he's going to receive, and he has already received for speaking out, but backlash for him being a Spanish-speaking individual who is going to be headlining the halftime show, he still decided he wanted to be courageous. And I give kudos to that, because it's very courageous to sit there and understand that you're going to get backlash for this, but you do not care because you believe that what you are saying is right and what you are saying is powerful and what you are saying can make a big impact. Again, I'm not going to come here and bash Kendrick Lamar because I know y'all get y'all panties in a bunch whenever somebody do. He's y'all savior, even though he told y'all he's not y'all savior. Great song, by the way. You know what song that is? Okay, now. But I will say it's just another example of a missed opportunity. That's what I'm saying. An opportunity to have a direct message, a clear message to those in power, and to send a positive affirmation and words of encouragement to those who are fighting against this oppressive things that we are seeing on the ground. I understand that a lot of people use their music, but I think it's so important for artists to use their voice as well. 833-212-1017. How should artists in music, in theater, in sports, or just influencers use their platform for change? Do you think they have a responsibility to speak out? 833-212-1017. And I remember people being very harsh on Michael Jordan, very harsh. Even made up things about private prisons and all this stuff about Michael Jordan because, he didn't use his platform to do this. I remember y'all being very harsh on him. But 833-212-1017, what is the standard that we hold people to when it comes to utilizing their platform? I know Rhea has a lot to say because she's a stan of some folks. So when we come back, Truth Nation, I want to know, do these artists have a responsibility to use their platform to speak out against things that we are seeing in our country that are wrong? That are wrong. 833-212-1017. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and go ahead and subscribe by hitting that little bell. But on the other side, we're going to talk about whether or not artists should be using their platform for good, or should they do what they've been told to do by some, is shut up and dribble. 833-212-1017. We'll explain next.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Truth Nation, it's time once again to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community at the second annual Truth Community Awards, happening Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 inside the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. This award show will honor the unsung heroes who show up, give back, and make a positive impact in our community every single day. We are rolling out the red carpet and showing love to those who truly deserve it. Buy your tickets now by visiting 1017thetruthAwards.com. Tickets are just $20, which includes free food and exclusive Truth giveaways. Join the 1017 The Truth team for an unforgettable night of entertainment, inspiration, and community pride at the second annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 in Milwaukee. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Milwaukee College Prep, Cousin Subs, Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. With 2 days to go before the NBA trade deadline, the market for Giannis Antetokounmpo has started to make progress as the Milwaukee Bucks have submitted counteroffers to teams aggressively looking to deal for the two-time MVP. The Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks are among the most active suitors. The Milwaukee Bucks head into a matchup against the Chicago Bulls tonight after losing 5 in a row. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. 6 teams have officially left their regional sports network and joined Major League Baseball on Monday, essentially shredding their local media contracts, the Milwaukee Brewers being one of those teams. The teams have decided to partner with MLB, which will produce their games for the 2026 season and beyond. On Twitter, the Brewers confirmed that fans within the Brewers' home television market will have options to watch games on cable and satellite television or stream through MLB.TV app. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
(833-212-1017). It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And life's better with American Family Insurance. That's because when you feel totally protected, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with a... It typically, I'm just reading the talking text line. Somebody said it's kidnapped or abducted when you're white. When I said why everybody look for this old woman? But it is when you use your platform in that way on that stage, you have to understand that you're going to get backlash. That's why when I see folks speak out, I actually appreciate that. But I want to know whose responsibility is it to speak out? Do these actors, do these actresses, do these movie stars, do these sports athletes, do these musicians, do they actually have a responsibility to speak out? Should we be upset if they don't say anything? 833-212-1017. Again, you can chime in on YouTube at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And I know Rhea and I had a quick conversation because we move in passing because we're very, very busy people.
2 ships in the night.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 ships in the night passing. They move in silence, huh?
You get this,
I know the saying. I try. Sometimes I don't even try to think about the sayings because sometimes when you think about some of the sayings, you be like, well, wait a minute. Like, does a tree fall... If a tree falls in the wood forest and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Yes. Trees, when they fall, they make sounds. You don't need to be there to know that whether or not it made a sound.
No one heard it. Doesn't make a sound, though.
Well, okay. So if somebody's deaf driving a car and they crash into something, did the crash make a sound?
All right.
Oh, nobody heard it. He's deaf. But we were going back and forth having a conversation talking about what it is. Like, what the stance is. And again, a lot of times I get annoyed. I'll be very honest. I get annoyed that people give Kendrick Lamar a pass on not saying anything. They always make up excuses. Oh, well, like all that imagery he had y'all looking at. Oh, all the imagery of the Super Bowl. Oh, it was just so good, so powerful. Meanwhile, he told you to turn the TV off, and while the TV was off, the world is falling apart. Literally, the world is falling apart around us. The country is falling apart around us. But turn the TV off. But are you supposed to be using your platform for good? And when I think about this, I'm one that truly believes so. I do believe that when you have great power comes great responsibility. That's what Spider-Man said, right? And so with that, I do believe that, no, it is not their job to be on the front lines. It's not their job to be the Martin Luther King Jr., but I do believe in certain times there should be this calling that you feel like the moment is right. And like SZA felt something in her soul and her body that she wanted to say the moment is right. And she didn't even specifically talk about anything. She just said, listen, during times like this, don't allow people to make you stray away from your belief in God and believe that he got us, right? That was what she was compelled to say. And I think that's still something that's good to say because people need to hear that. People are depressed right now. People are struggling right now. When you turn on the news every single day, you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? How is this happening? And hearing a powerful, strong voice could help soothe some people's nerves. And I think that's important to understand. Yes, Rhea Riley.
But you say the word platform as if Kendrick did not just do a groundbreaking, I think it broke records and won an Emmy during the Super Bowl last year during Black History Month. And he said so much within that performance where now a year later, I don't believe he has anything else he really needs to say on the matter. He spoke up for black people in the black community. We're not ones that are getting yoked up out here on the streets every day.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What exactly from the, and this is a real question because I don't know, what exactly from the message helped us in 2026 or 2025 to continue to fight and to continue to wake up and continue to advocate? Because the last time I checked, the black unemployment rate went up faster than anybody else's unemployment rate. Black women are losing their jobs left and right. We're about to see Haitians get deported, which Haitians they're not black Americans. About to see Haitians who lose their protection get deported. We saw DEI initiatives get taken down. We saw statues get taken down. Why should I turn my TV on? Like, what is the message? I'm being so serious. What is the message that we got from the Super Bowl that we can utilize and strengthen us for our future of 2025 that we had last year and continue to be strong in 2026?
Well, that the revolution won't be televised. Things are going to happen to us, but we still have to be black and be proud. This is what's happening to us. I'm giving you a platform. With that performance, from what I got, was that he's showcasing, like, this is what's happening. This is the America that we live in. Be aware of what's happening to you right now. That's fine what I mean when it comes to art. He still platformed Serena Williams crip walking. He still had a commentary on just black incarceration. I have to go watch it again. I should have watched it before the show today.
No, but I guess
it's just a lot that he's
I agree. I agree. But when again, I feel like there was a lot of messages that people had to break down versus maybe being clear and direct. Jelly Roll told everybody, listen, I'm gonna let y'all know about some clear and direct coming up, which is his prerogative, whatever he wants to do. But that's just me, and it's not just him, it's other folks as well. Like Nicki Minaj is loud and proud about hers, calling other people pedophile, calling Jay-Z a pedophile. Meanwhile, she married to one. Very interesting. Meanwhile, she was hand in hand with one. So I'm just saying, but to each their own.
But like, what would you want Kendrick to say?
Honestly, I would have wanted, and not just Kendrick, anybody that got up there and won an award, which a lot of people did, go up there and they use the platform, just simply speak out. Because you have to understand is that when you speak out, it causes a conversation. It gets people who may be unaware, people who live under a rock to say, what's really going on? Or wait, like Bad Bunny fans. There may be Bad Bunny fans who live in Puerto Rico or live in other places who may have heard about ICE but haven't looked into it. If they simply look into it and all of a sudden they become an advocate and they want to push back or they want to call their congressman or they want to call their United States senator or whatever it is to make change, that's great. Or whether they want to go protest, because I understand is that his voice is so strong, and not just him, many other people. I want as many people that feel compelled to. If you don't feel compelled to, then fine, that's fine. But there's so much that can happen when you speak up. There really is. Change can happen. Even look at Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Though we may disagree with a lot of their beliefs, they were able to get people released from jail simply for speaking up. And you may not like them, but if somebody is getting released from jail, incarceration, I applaud that.
But directly, I feel like Bad Bunny was directly targeted by Trump. He was saying, oh, this guy is not American, XYZ, all these other things. Kendrick Lamar did not have that platform. Kendrick Lamar had an album about hating one specific man, and that was it. And he still uses his platform at the halftime Super Bowl to talk about issues that pertain to our black community. And again, it's ICE out on our Hispanic, Latinx brothers and sisters and neighbors here.
And Somalians.
And a few black people too, which is all bad. And we did have other black people who spoke on it, but I think just the heat on him for saying, oh, you didn't say nothing.
I didn't put heat on him.
You've been coming at me all week.
No. Oh, it's Tuesday. And I didn't say a word to you today.
All week.
I didn't say a word to you today, and I barely said something to you yesterday. I was very busy.
You said something to me today, and you said something yesterday.
I didn't say nothing to you today about this.
You go rap for your man, Kendrick Lamar didn't say nothing.
No, well, I just, whenever I message people about it, everybody get mad and they bring up Drake. That's like folks bring up.
I didn't even bring up Drake. You brought Drake up to me first.
No, other people, they text me, Drake. But 833, again, I just want to make it very, very, very known. I am a strong supporter of Kendrick Lamar and his music. I am a fan of his music. I am a fan of his art, and I'm a fan of what messages he put out there. I'm a fan of what he did at the Super Bowl, because even though I don't think it really resonated with folks. I mean, everybody, I think it resonated with a lot of people, but I don't think the message actually like led to anything. Like, I just think it was just for people to talk about versus actually people to have action. But I think it was beautiful. I do. I think it was cool. But 833-212-1017. Char, what are your comments about the Grammy speeches and people using their platform? Do you think famous people have a responsibility to use their platform for good?
I do not, because that's what they do for a living or whatever. But the lesson I want to know as an elder in the community, people need to study history. This is a lesson in classic fascism. It starts by you dehumanize one group, and the other group says, well, it's not me. Your friend Tory Lowe does the same thing. I don't know, but I'm Mexican, just don't affect the black community. That is the initial steps of fascism. You pit people against each other. And the bottom line is there's wrong and there's right, and what ICE is doing is wrong. I don't care if people are purple. And so this idea that, well, you don't speak out or it's not me, that is the exact steps that Hitler took.
Yeah, I agree. No, you're absolutely right. And really talking about that on the other side, speaking out is something I do want to address, because there was a conversation that was held yesterday here in the city of Milwaukee as they had a town hall meeting about ICE. And for once, I'm actually happy that they had the meeting, but also I find gaps in messaging, because everybody isn't meant to lead. I think a lot of times what happens is people get elected, they get put in these positions, and all of a sudden they think they have, the right to be able to say, I was elected, I can do what I want, when in reality, when less than 50% of the people in a district voted and you ended up winning, I mean, you won, but it's like, people saying, hey, Trump won 47% of the popular vote or 48% of the popular vote. That means, everybody wants what he, wants his vision of America. Not true. Less than 50% of the country want the vision. So on the other side, I'm going to talk about how we need to be very careful about who we're allowing to lead us, because they may lead us into a damn trap. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We'll wrap up the show talking about the wrong leaders leading this place in the wrong direction.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a call.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Day one. Diagnosis day, the hardest day, the day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, y'all know what to do. Make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they will take care of you. I know when I got in a car accident, I called Gruber, and they took great care of me. They made sure my back was able to recover. They focused on the legal aspect so I could focus on healing. I never paid a single penny until they won my case, and they won my case in a get results that speak for themselves over and over and over. So if your loved one is ever injured in an accident, make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law offices at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666, or visit them at gruber-law.com. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law offices. 833-212-1017. Miss Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your comments on today's conversation?
Oh, yes. Hi. I was just listening to you, and you were speaking of should we have celebrities back when they, speak out. I said we should, and I think they should speak out. And I think the thing is it's always like, it seems like it's always the regular people that get sucked up into the nonsense, but it's the regular people that go fight the wars in the military and stuff to save this country. They better look at that. We should back up our celebrities, and none of the rich people's people don't go fight no war. We're fighting the war to help them save this country. And my son was in the military, and he died. He died in prison. That's what he got.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, no, that's okay, because they got their laws, but their laws don't reach to them. That's what I'm saying. But no, we do. Our people. I was in the reserve. Our people fight for this country. Yeah, we fought for this country, and now we get kicked in the butt. Our people can't speak out, and we just want the right things just like they do. So that's what I had to say.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you chiming in on the conversation with that, Miss Sandra. I really do. And getting back to this ICE conversation that I do want to have really quickly is that yesterday there was a town hall where there was a line outside of the door at the Vibranium, I think it's called. Vibranium? You know what I'm talking about? Music hall?
Vibranium?
Yeah, I think that's it. Music hall, they had a town hall, and it was talking about how Milwaukee can push back against ICE, right? Like, what is the plan for the city if ICE comes here? And I think it was a very, very valid question to ask, and I think the meeting was good to combat the potential presence of ICE in our city, and I'm glad people are being proactive. But also, when you have an alderman named Alex Brower who saying in public that he intended to join if people are engaging in civil disobedience to obstruct ICE, he intended to join in with civil disobedience. I can't get with that. Because listen, everybody has a right to do what they want to do. But I believe he is playing with fire when he says something like that. And for me, I always look at what is the upside. What is the upside of a politician saying that he wants to participate in civil disobedience against the federal government? There's more downside than upside. The last thing I want for our city to have to face is have Donald Trump or Kristi Noem or whoever it is say, oh, look at this politician here in Milwaukee telling people to be disobedient towards federal agents. And then all of a sudden we got people inside of our city. So again, I encourage people to protest, but I do not encourage for people to have civil disobedience, and I don't think that a politician should be telling people to have civil disobedience. We as a city need to be more strategic, and we need to tell people that they have rights, and based off their First Amendment right, they have the right to gather, to protest, to march, and to demonstrate peacefully. That is the right that they have. But do understand that the Constitution does not cover civil disobedience. Breaking laws is not protected in the Constitution. So we need to be very careful when it comes to following folks who just got elected to office with less than 10,000 votes in a district that has like 80,000 people in it. Or maybe it's 50,000 people, something like that. So we need more politicians to be a little bit more savvy when it comes to these conversations. Because you can't sit up there and tell people to be disobedient. That's not the right way to go about it. You can tell people to be active, you can tell people to protest, but you shouldn't tell people to be disobedient. And so when I heard that, I was like, let's make sure that we're not encouraging people to do that. I want people to protest all they want, but we need to make sure that we give them the tools and the resources to be successful. That's what we need to make sure we need to do. And it is 38,500 people per district and only 15,000 people voted. So less than 15,000 people voted in an election, and this man is sitting here telling people to be, civil disobedience. What we need to do is we need to make sure people have their information and they need to know their rights. So what they need to be handing out is know your rights cards, information about attorneys who are willing to help people. You need to have information about, if you attend a protest, what to do next if you are arrested. And I'm telling y'all, we don't want to poke the bear. Listen, I am against what is happening with ICE, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to poke the bear. I don't want us to be the next Minneapolis. I don't want that here in Milwaukee. I want us to be able to push back and protest, but I want folks getting snatched off the street. I don't want people getting killed. And when you have a politician encouraging civil disobedience, you're teetering in a space of getting backlash from this federal government that we don't want in our city. And we should not want that in our city. So my encouragement, if ICE comes, is make sure people are knowledgeable on their rights. Make sure people feel confident in the fact that if they do get arrested, they know exactly what to do. And make sure that folks understand that based off their First Amendment right, they can peacefully protest, they can peacefully gather, they can peacefully march. But don't encourage folks to tear stuff up, because that will lead to more chaos here in our community. This is Truth to Power. Kyle Wallace here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Troy Lowe Show is up next from 1 to 4, Truth Nation. Thank y'all for listening. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Can you drive that funky soul? Raise up, get yourself together, and drive your funky soul. Slaughter, get on up, get yourself together, drive that funky soul. Leon, get yourself together.
Truth Nation, it's